I'm Shay Russell for mining.com.au, and joining me today is Caedmon Marriott, the Managing Director for Western Mines Group. Caedmon, it's fabulous to have you on. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Shay, and very good to see you again. Been a while.
It certainly has, but you have waited to gift me with good news. Congratulations on the announcement that you put out on the 3rd of April. I believe you now possess Australia's largest nickel sulphide project. Mate, can you talk me through some of the highlights here?
Yeah, so we've been working away pretty hard over the last 2 or 3 months. I guess as a company, we've been pretty quiet, but we've been crunching the numbers on all of our drilling to date at Mulga Tank. So we've drilled a combination of diamond and RC, close on to 35,000 meters. And over the last couple of months, we've been putting that all together into a very large block model for the intrusion. And yes, as you say, yesterday we put out our first resource for Mulga Tank, and it's absolutely massive. Yeah, we think it's the largest nickel sulphide deposit in Australia. About 5.3 million tons of contained nickel. About 70% of that is still inferred, but within that, there's a core area that we've drilled to approximately 100 by 100 spacing, which we're calling indicated. So there's nearly 600 million tons of indicated, so about 1.6 million tons of contained nickel. So yeah, we're very pleased with that, and we think it's a pretty big announcement to drop on the market on not what was a poor day in the market yesterday, but we saw some performance anyway.
Yeah, it certainly was a surprise announcement for the market yesterday, but I wouldn't mind stepping back a bit and just looking at nickel for a moment. Look, it's a tough time to be in nickel right now. What's underpinning your confidence behind this project?
Yeah, I mean, even in current trough pricing of $16,000 a ton, we think this project is extremely viable, and that's what's given us the confidence to keep exploring and keep working even in this environment. It's a very large, low-grade deposit, and there's a number of these around the world. You see some Canadian peers of ours, but we're both 10 to 20% better nickel grade than them per ton, and that may not sound like a lot, but when you're talking about large, low-grade operations like this that'll be moving 30, 40 million tons a year, those small minor differences generate huge profits at the back end. So not only are we 10, 20% higher nickel grade, but we're about 3 to 4 times the sulfur grade, which really highlights that this is predominantly a pentlandite primary magmatic sulfide deposit. And so, yeah, we've done some rough numbers. We think even in this trough pricing, this thing can certainly be profitable on a large-scale operation.
Now, obviously, this is a positive step forward for the Mulga Tank project, but what's the follow-up here?
Yeah, so we're very excited to get back out there. So we've obviously demonstrated, as we've been saying all the time, we've got more than enough tons here. And so it's now really exploring bioeconomics in two factors. So we'll both go back and infill, increase the confidence levels around these resource categories, but also there's areas where we can step out, particularly to the south. We will add more tons where it looks like better grade. And so within this large deposit, we need to focus on where the better tons are. The more of those higher grade tons you can bring forward in any mine plan for a scoping study and feasibility study, the better the economics are. And now the particularly exciting part of this, which again, just to compare against Canadians, we firmly believe this is a primary magmatic sulfide system, a classic type 2 disseminated system like Mount Keith. But also, as well as that, we think it's more of a hybrid system. So we definitely see instances and intersections of massive sulfide. And we have something like 23 intersections of over 1% nickel scattered over a couple of square kilometer area. So certainly a lot of our follow-up work will be going back, looking at those intersections and drilling tighter around those. Because if we can prove up 10, 20,000 tons at 1 to 2% nickel, apart from that, could be almost a standalone operation. Again, that all feeds into the economics up front in a large operation. So yeah, a lot more targeted exploration, I think, to come from here, focusing particularly on grade, because as we showed yesterday, we've got the tons now.
You certainly have. Listen, Caedmon, it was an absolute pleasure to speak with you. Congratulations on this news once again, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Great. Thanks very much, Shay.